Shines. Good morning. I have to get one along. I don't hate you. But it's not Good morning. Good morning. I can hear your numbers. Good morning. How is everyone? Thanksgiving. I have a my family have planned. I'm sorry for her. For the work we need for we have fun. Tissue. I got tissue if you need it. Here, it's tissue right here. You need some tissue? You sure? Mm. So, I was technically this weekend supposed to be on vacation. Hi, from my job, but I picked up every day. You gotta remember something. Christmas is around the corner. You know what I'm saying? And then my birthday is then on the 13th. Okay. So I am, and I started, paying, like my little bills the way I usually do it. And this month, my morning is going good. So this month, as long as I don't buy nothing out, nothing donuts, no Starbucks, no nothing like that. Mind you, my son, he's about to get Starbucks, but he has a gift card. And as long as I don't do anything, I will be fine, right? So I have plans for each paycheck that I get. Some is going towards like my little bills, some is going towards, I'm putting some up for rent, because before you know, rent will be right around the corner again. So I'm trying to do everything smart. So as long as I don't do anything that I don't need to do, so it's no takeout. Of course I got food, been blessed for that. And I'm gonna cook dinner. Now today I gotta work both jobs. I work 7 to 1, I think I got 7 to 12. I don't know. But I know I worked my second job today from 2 to 6 yesterday. And y'all know I usually don't ever work a Saturday. I worked my first job yesterday from 12 to 4. And I will get a little bit into that, about how everything was like rah 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 later on down the line. I'll tell you guys about that part. And I've been good. I've been good. I've been kind of a lot more self-aware within myself, and I've been really happy, just about how my life is going with not accepting certain things. So I've been good. Noah has been good. No seizures. No seizures. Good morning. No seizures. He has. This week is gonna be really hectic for me because I have a lot of 6 o'clock in the morning shifts. Yeah. So, thank you. No, I don't always look happy all the time, but thank you. Thank you. No, I'm from Norwalk, you guys. Like, my accent just comes out sometimes, and I get that a lot. Well, you from Jersey? No, I'm from Norwalk. You know what I'm saying? And I've been really good. You know. You know what somebody said? Powerball is 875. Listen, I wish I could. You know what's so funny? I totally would donate some of that money towards charity, towards kids with cancer, and homeless shelters. No, I'm not. I'm not. And I would invest my money. That's how I would do it. I have this thing now where I don't just think about tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I think about next year. I think about the year after that, or I think about rainy days. Like, my mindset is so different than everybody else's. It's more so of a right. You got to get this money. You know what I'm saying? That's why, technically speaking, I'm supposed to be on vacation as of today, but I'm going into work all this week. Or I'm working every single day. Oh, thank you. And I just refuse to be a statistic. I just refuse to be a statistic pertaining to I have been blessed with oxygen in my body, 2 legs, okay, 2 feet, and a mouth, and 2 beautiful eyes. So I'm gonna get my black ass up and I'm gonna go to work. I cannot, because I seen that when people's food stamps were, like, when they had cut the food stamps, and there was a lot of women that were really stressing, you know what I'm saying? And respectfully, I refuse to stress about my finances. I refuse to stress about food in the house. I refuse to stress about clothes on my son's dad. I refuse to stress about the bills that I'm having. I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to work. And Lord knows I'm not saying that it's been easy for me, because you guys know, you know, with me, like with my mom watching my son, that's my support system. My best friend picking up my son and dropping my son off, that's my support system. And I will always say, anybody that is not around, I still wish you nothing but the best. And I'm always going to be happy for anybody, for any way that they move, that they think, that they feel. I'm not going to interrupt anybody's life. Anybody's happy family. You are where you are, where you want to be. That's it. I am so in a mindset of, I'm a mother. Okay, I am a sister, I am a daughter, I am a friend. I refuse to be anything else that I cannot be, and or that I cannot give you time to be. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not forcing something, I'm not forcing time, I'm not squeezing anything in. If it's meant to be, it will be. Like, you guys don't even understand the sense of, my goodness, mental capacity that I have now, okay? I'm just not doing it. I just refuse to depend on anyone, because at the end of the day, I want to, you know, show my baby I can do this, and so can you. You good?
No, through his hat. The hoodie is choking me.
Okay, so then why don't you stop, calm down. If the hoodie is choking you, what you do is you unzip your coat and then you zip down the jacket some. It's too attached to your neck, so just take a breather. So you took off the hoodie? Okay, so why don't you zip down the coat just a little bit, so that way, oh, excuse me, you can get some airway. There you go. You good? Come on, give it to me. Give me some. Not him scratching hands. I ain't leaving me hanging though. Good morning, you guys. Come on, give me some. Don't high five me with the eye. Do scratching like Yes, I am still the same. Y'all, I'm just gonna always be my little crazy self. I wish I could say they let me go live. I'm gonna make sure I am extremely careful. That part. Oh Lord Jesus, let me Alright, we are going to Starbucks, but we are only going because my son has a gift card and only he's getting something. Mommy's not gonna get anything. I like to let my car run for a little bit. And in the winter time, I usually try to never let my gas tank go over half a tank, because I know that you definitely should keep your gas tank full. So that's pretty much how I am with things. But when it comes to my car, and if it's snow on the ground, I usually like to let my car run for maybe like 7 minutes, the most 5, the least. That's pretty much how I am. And my son, he he lost weight actually, and but I have a Nissan Sentra. My first car was a Honda. I think it was a Honda Civic. I think. Don't give me the line, because y'all know I am not good with cars. But I have a Nissan Sentra, and I like my car. And it's so funny because with my gas tank, I don't know the cylinders and all of that, which I should, but I don't. And I can own the max that I can put in my car. Hi, good morning. The max that I can put in my car is 25. And sometimes, to be very honest with you, I can't even put that inside my gas. Like last time when did I go get gas? I got gas recently. And I said 25 because I needed it to last me for the whole week. But it stopped at 22 something. And I was like, darn it. So, good morning. I hope everybody has a blessed Sunday. Let me start there. Sorry. And I kept going. I usually don't like to keep going when it stops, because I get nervous that it's gonna overfill. But I have never put $25.01 in my gas tank. Never. Good morning. Wait, is Starbucks even open? Oh, they are. All right. So, what are you getting, baby? You gotta let me know. I don't remember. One second, you guys.
It's 2.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm good. What can we get started for you?
I am going to have what is it called, Noah?
Cameron.
The caramel ribbon crunch. I'm past that for like $11 and some change in it, I think, right? I'm past that for like $11 and some change in it, I think, right? Right? This is the one, right? I don't have Instagram, you guys. I wish I did. No, here, blow your nose for me, please. Thank you. Hold on, y'all. Let me give them my thing. Oh. Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm sorry. Try this one. Is it this one, Noah? If not, Mommy's gonna have to use her debit card. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Here, baby. You got it? You got it. You're welcome. Take this. I'm gonna park the car for like 2 seconds.
1, 2. Is this me?
I don't think so. I think it's just dirt. I'm trying to put this in the garbage can. Oh, Lord.
Where's my drink?
I'm about to throw his actual drink in the garbage can. No more garbage. Right here. You know I got other straws. Oh, wait. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get Noah situated. Right, let me see. Try this one, baby. Try this one, sweetie pie. I'll take this one. Oh, I see what you mean. You got it? Okay. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. As soon as I get in my car earlier.
You got my running to the garbage. forgot what ghosting.
Come here. Let me turn around. I'm just gonna take a second. 1 second. I don't know what you were doing, but I know what I was inside.
I keep my hat back, please.
Yeah, but you got to fix the hat. I don't want your hat to be looking all crazy. Come back towards mommy. Turn towards mommy. I don't know how you did it, but you stretched the hat out. It's cool. It's not a biggie, right? Good morning. Sorry, y'all. I had Instagram, but I took it down. I felt like it was too much, so I took it down. I wouldn't really say that, sweetie pie, but I was like, yeah, like it's not for me. I kind of feel like I wish I would have left it up. I do. I probably should have. I probably should have, to be honest with you guys. But you good? Okay. So my baby. So this week I work a lot of 7 to 1, and then like a lot of 6 to 11s, and like 6 to 1 and things of that nature. I know tomorrow I'm actually gonna try to stay at work later because tomorrow Monday, so then you know what? No, because tomorrow I gotta wash clothes. Tomorrow I was originally supposed to get off at 1. I don't even know my own schedule, to be honest with you. I know now tomorrow I was supposed to have vacation hours, right? Again, like I told you guys, but I had decided to go in to work all this week. So I picked up 7 to 1, but 9 times out of 10 I might end up staying later. The only reason why I might end up staying later is because excuse me, I got the hiccups again at work. Excuse me. And I have to wash clothes tomorrow, but 2 don't get out until because they have wakemen. So that's why I should be okay with washing clothes. And y'all know how I am when it comes to washing the clothes. I like to make sure I can take my time, because the last time I washed my clothes and I was able to take my time, I really liked the way that the clothes came out. I remember last time I had to rush and kind of put everything in one. I was like, yeah, no, this is not for me. I like to sort it by, colors and, like towels and washcloths and, socks and t-shirts and things of that nature, color codes, white clothes, black clothes. That's how I like to make sure that my clothes are nice and clean. So when I don't have to rush, I like it. You don't gotta rush to do something, and you could just like with cooking. Y'all know I really love to take my time when it comes to cooking, because I feel like you can put, all your attention in it. I feel like whatever you do, you should always put your full attention into it. So that's just how I am. I don't know how everybody else is. Oh, Lord Cruz is on. And that's just literally just me. I haven't changed at all. Well, I slightly have. I kind of just took more of an advantage of my mental thoughts, myself and who I am. And there's a lot that I've decided to change in a good way that I feel will be beneficial for and or to me, but most importantly, my son. I don't even think my mother is even up yet, to be honest. Hi, Joshua. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, boo. Hey. Hi, Joshua. You want mommy to see if the door's unlocked? All right. I'm gonna go see if the door's unlocked. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna let him stay right here.
Lock it in.
I don't even think that my mother is even up yet. So,
I'm still cold.
better. You say you don't.
I'm right, because this is
Go like that. There you go. I know my mother said 6:30. She'll be up. The only reason why I left out the door so early was because of I knew that he would have wanted to go somewhere and he used his little gift card. I gotta go to work and you know, trying to think. I'm trying to think. I'll be to work at 7. I got up at 4:15. And I got him up I think at like 5:15, and then he went to I usually get up I like to leave approximately like an hour earlier, or maybe like only because like you know how sometimes when you go somewhere there could be a morning rush where you know people getting breakfast or coffee.
It's still so
I got the heat blasted, and you know so I usually try to leave like an hour earlier because I know, you know, the morning time could be, you know, hit at like Dunkin' Donuts or something like that. I got up to make sure my car was mine said it's 30 degrees Fahrenheit here. I think it's because I have on a lot of clothes, so I think that's why I'm not cold. To be honest, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So I think that's why I'm not cold because I have on this. I have a sweater under, then a shirt, and I got my pants, and then I got my boots on. Now usually when it's this cold,
I can't put it under the car. I can't find it.
just leave your feet there, baby. You're good. My baby look like a statue. I don't know if I want to call my mother this early.
No, it's like a sleep.
Huh? I mean, I know usually I don't usually go to 2 separate places, so that's why, like, let's say if I would have got up this morning and he wanted Starbucks and I wanted Dunkin' Donuts, right? Like, I knew I would have to leave early because I know that particular Dunkin' that I go to, it'd be a lot of people in there. So that's, you know, I usually try to leave an hour earlier, but then I still have to be understanding of, you know, my mom not wanting to get up that early, so it's tough. Where there's a will, there's a way. I believe that wholeheartedly. So I've been trying to be a lot more considerate, and still a little tough. Still a little tough, not gonna lie, because you know sometimes you know my son, you know, he may not want to get up, or he may fuss with getting up. So sometimes it can definitely be a lot. So hard, but I'm still trying. You said where the feet go? Baby, this one. This one. This one. No, big head. This one. Look to that, like that. Boy, if you start pressing on dang on buttons in my car, like what is you doing? Them comebacks, boy. Them comebacks. I did not. I was trying to get a mango dragon fruit from Starbucks. I mean, Starbucks. From Dunkin' Donuts, I'm gonna see my mom can get it. Because remember, I don't want to spend no money. Hi Alex, huh? Oh my goodness, you guys know what? How bought me some gummy worms. I thought that was so cute. That's why I was trying to see if she was up early so that way I could run to that Dunkin' Donuts and then, head on to work. So give me 1 second. Let me call my mom, you guys. Let me see if she's leaving. Hold on. Don't leave. I'll be right back. Hold on. Come on, Nana. Come on, Nana. Noah, come on, honey. Grandma gonna unlock the door. Noah. Come on, Noah, because I gotta go to work. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Sorry, y'all. See how it's 6:13? So, I'm about to go and get a drink from Dunkin' real quick. So, usually, right, when I get a drink from Dunkin', I usually get the strawberry dragon fruit. But I'm gonna get the dragon fruit. I don't know. For some reason, I can't ever get the drink right. Don't judge me. But I'm about to go to Dunkin' right now. I'm gonna get some drink. Do they got a Dunkin' up in the area that I work at? Oh yeah, that tight one. I ain't doing that. I'm gonna just go get a drink real quick from Dunkin'. I made a medium. I haven't seen you guys here on forever. I feel like I haven't been here in so long. I feel like hi, hello, good morning. My lights are on. I'm like, huh? I'm like, how can they tell? Y'all want the light on? This light? Good morning. I ain't been on here in a minute, so I'm trying to be real careful with everything I say and do, because I'm not trying to get blocked again. I don't even know why I did, but it's cool, whatever. Right? So, for me, there's been a lot of self-evaluating for myself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and with my birthday being in a few days, I really had to kind of dig deep within myself and look at a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy with where I am. I do believe I definitely could be a lot better with certain things, and I definitely plan on being a lot better. But I'm happy with certain things in my life right now. I really, really am. I am going to Dunkin' Donuts to get a drink. I don't know if you guys want to come in with me or not, but I don't even think if y'all can. I'm trying to be real careful. I just want to go in here real quick and get this drink and then walk out the door. That's literally just it. I'm going to show y'all. See? I'm walking into Dunkin'. I'm going to mute the phone. So you guys, I went inside Dunkin' and I seen this guy that used to come to my first job a lot. And he actually paid for my drink. And I was like, oh my goodness, you didn't have to do that. I'm standing there, he just walked up on me. I was like, oh my goodness, hi. He was like, hi, how are you? And it's funny because me and him was literally just talking about, no, I walked in, he was like, hey, how are you? I was like, hey. He walked up on me in a joking manner, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like where I come from. We cool. Like, if I know you and you know me, we cool like that. You know what I'm saying? Good energy. You just listen. Good energy. Oh, you just gotta give good energy, right? And I went to go, like, so me and him was talking, and he was like, hey, do you work? Da da da. And I was like, yeah. I said I have 2 jobs. And he was like, what? I said I have 2 jobs. He was like, why are you working so hard? I said, because I'm a mom. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and depend on somebody helping me with my son. I'm just not doing it. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, how old are you? And I said, I'll be such and such age in a few days. He was like, so you don't have no man? I said, no. He was like, you have no man helping you? I said, no. Well, I got God. I always got God. And I was like, I'm very independent. And he was like, so you have everything? I said, I have everything. And I said to him, I said, no. And he was like, you see what what the president had said? I said yeah. I said, and I was like, it's funny because I was just talking about this in my life. I said how there was a lot of women stressed out about how they were gonna pay for their kids and pay for the food. And I said, I do not want to be stressing out about none of these things. I do not, because again, I've been blessed to get up and be able to go to work. I don't want to stress. And I tell people all the time, let me tell you something. I would rather be concerned about something else than financially stressed out. Period. Right? Like, let's say if me and my potential boyfriend got into an argument, I would rather have that on my mind than, oh my goodness, how am I going to pay my rent? Or, oh my goodness, how am I going to pay my car insurance? Or, oh my goodness, how am I going to pay for gas? I refuse to do it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I'm like top notch dollar, baby, no. You know what I'm saying? I bust my ass, friends, to do what I got to do. And I'm never going to sit up here and say I regret it, because I don't. I was always taught, you get up and you work, and I stand by that, and I live by that. And that's why I tell my son, because my surgeon, I said, if this is what you really want to do, I'll back you 100%. My son knows that. Whatever he put his little mind to, I said, if you really want to do it, I got you. I said, and I told him, I was like, you have to be consistent with it. I said, you can't be sitting up here one day, and he's 9, you know what I'm saying? So of course he's gonna change his mind, which I get. But I'm gonna give you guys a quick little rundown. Like Taekwondo, for instance, his instructor wants him to to teach the class, and my son had asked me Monday. No, he asked me Saturday, and then did he? No, Wednesday. He asked me Wednesday. I was going to ask his instructor on Friday. And then Saturday morning came and he was like, oh my, I don't want to do it. I said, no, if you don't get it together, I said, listen to me. Whatever you want to do in life, I will always back you up 100%. I said, but I need to see consistency. I said, I need to see that this is something that you want to do. And I said, the change in your mind, I said, I get it. You're 9. I understand that. I said, but I want you to be consistent with something. So he wants to do football. So I signed him up for football in April. It's funny because April is his birthday month. I'm a little nervous, only because of him having epilepsy, and Jesus knows I'm petrified. But I always say, like I told you guys before, I'm not gonna block that blessing if this is something that's meant for him to do. I don't want to block that blessing because of my emotions. I gotta just trust God. And God already has it written, so whatever has to be done, it will be done. I'm holding on strong faith for that. Like, God, please, like, you got my baby on this field. cover him, Father God, please, you know. And I just never want to be that mother that stops him from his full potential with something, because I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm scared you're gonna get hurt. You know, it's football, he's gonna get hurt. So, and I think that, you know, football is a good thing. It kind of teaches them, you know, I feel like most importantly, brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have, you know, no more kids than my son, so I feel like, you know, that could be like his brotherhood, you know, his brothers, and, you know, they can learn from each other, they can go off of each other, they can bounce from off of each other, they can talk to each other. So it gives him a sense of, yo, I go to my homeboy, you know what I'm saying? So he could be around, you know, boys coming up into men, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna stop that from my son. I always said, as a mother, I never wanted to let my emotions or my fear stop my son from accomplishing something God had it written for him to accomplish. I don't want to stop that. I don't want to block that, and I don't want to be responsible for that. So he wants to do it, I'm going to let him do it. And I tell my son, I'll back you up all the way. I will back you up all the way, but I will tell him, understand, football is discipline. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So it's going to take a toll on you, child. Just like Taekwondo has, it's going to take a toll on you. But I really want to keep my son in something where he can learn, you know, and be around, you know, boys coming into men, or have like men being his mentors, as long as they are strong men. I'm never going to stop that. You know, I'm never going to just be like, oh, no, I'm taking you out of this. No, because I will be the fool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to block that blessing. I can't block his blessing anyway, because I'm not God. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much that. And, oh, somebody asked me, was I going out to work? Well, I'm going to work. And with me having to take a lot of kind of time to just mentally evaluate within myself, I have decided to not accept any disrespect. I have decided not to take anyone's BS. I have decided not to even respond to a lie. There's a lot of things, and I've learned just from looking back on my past and looking back from my journey, even with dealing with from men to now, I look and I say, girl, no. So I'm very happy that I can look back and say, all right, I've learned from this, I've grown from this, now let me show you who I am. And I actually, yesterday, I had somehow, and I don't even know, I got somebody's shirt. And I promise you, I don't know how I even have his shirt. It's so weird, because I'm like, how do I have this man's shirt? So it was the dude that I got into it with, the one I was for 6.5 years. I had to text him yesterday, last night, and I was like, hey, I have your shirt, do you want to buy it? Mind you, I've been contemplating the whole entire freaking month if I should do it, because I didn't want to reach out, but y'all know me being me, I feel like if something isn't mine and I have it and it's yours, I should give you the opportunity to, you know, have it, because it's not mine, and I never want to sit up here and throw somebody's stuff away without their permission. And I, you know, some people make it there and be like, girl, but it's not mine. So I was like, hey, I have your shirt, do you want it back? And he was like, what shirt? And I said, your white shirt. He was like, do what you want with it. I specifically said, I don't want to toss it without your permission. His response was, do what you want. I said, okay. I threw it in the garbage can, because I gave you the opportunity to either come get your shirt, or I could have given it to you. But when you told me in the text message to do what I want, I tossed it. And that was the end of that. I just don't like, I always say that if I have somebody's stuff, I think it's important to give somebody back their stuff, because it's not yours. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you should. You see what I'm saying? I told you. I told you. And it's so funny, because I asked my homegirl, I was like, girl, should I give this man back his stuff? She was like, girl, oh, heck no. I was like, but me being me, I just could not come to terms with throwing something in the garbage can that's not mine, because then let's say if he would have wanted it back. She was like, oh my goodness, he had all this time, I'm gonna get it back. I was like, I just can't throw it in the garbage can. I was like, it's not, is that a person or am I tripping? Okay, that's a bull. I was like, oh no. I just couldn't find myself to throw it in the garbage can without him saying, hey, you could toss it, or no, I don't want it. I just needed some type of, confirmation of I was okay to throw it in the garbage can. I just wanted to make sure that that was it. And that's it. I'm not going to go no more with that. So we leaving that there. Give me 1 second, you guys. Dang, I meant to tell him not a lot of ice. I don't like my drinks, pertaining to, particularly speaking towards Dunkin', having a lot of ice in it, because I feel like it waters it down extremely quickly, and I don't like that my drinks be watered down when you need that. And you guys know, I feel that I am very different than your average person, because I have a sense of comfortability within myself, and I have a sense of understanding, and I just choose to just be, not that mean girl. You know what I'm saying? Well, not that mean woman. Not girl. I'm not a girl. I'm a woman, but not that mean woman. And I just believe in, when you give respect, it's given, which I used to believe, but I promise you I don't anymore. I just genuinely don't. I never want to walk away on bad terms with somebody. I genuinely try to be as open and cordial as I can be to people, because I just feel that, to be honest, I look at things now in a manner of, you never know when you're going to need somebody, or you never know when God will have it to where you end up needing them. So if I'm ending something with someone, whoever it may be, I always try to come off as respectful, because you just never know what God literally can have in store. It could be to where I may need this man maybe next year, and he could be like, oh no, because we ended on bad terms. But since we didn't, I could be like, hey, I need you. And he might be like, oh, all right, it's cool, whatever. I genuinely always try to end things cordial. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm in a room and you in a room, I'm not finna sit up here and be arguing with you. And I ain't talked to you in like 3 months or 4 months. I'm not giving you that energy. We're not doing that. I mean, that's just me. I just try to be polite. And there has been times when I have had to, unfortunately, not be so nice. And let me be very clear. When I was younger, I told my little lies and things like that, and things of that nature. Recently, I kind of had to not tell somebody off, but I kind of had to. Where I come from, when we say an attitude, we say you have a toot. Okay, so I kind of have to give a little bit of a toot. Okay, long story short, me and my sister had got into it over something that she said, and then she tried to say she didn't say it, and that kind of set me left, because I got very frustrated. I don't like being lied on. It's really bad pet peeve of mine. Listen, I don't lie enough, so you're not gonna lie on me. We're not gonna do that, okay? So I told you guys yesterday I work, and I usually don't work a Saturday at my first job. So my sister was saying to her and my mom had to do something. I'm not gonna say what. I'm gonna be respectful. And I was like, hey, should I pick up a shift for Saturday? Should I pick up a shift for Saturday? Because I had missed work Tuesday. And y'all know me, I don't like missing work. So I had tried to pick up where I, where I had lacked. And since I had missed Tuesday, I was like, okay, if I work Saturday, I'll be fine, because it'll still be, the same. Plus more, because I was able to stay at work longer. So I was like, hey, since you and mom got to do something, am I picking up a shift? Because I knew that, what they had to do would take them some time, and I didn't want to be an inconvenience to what they had to do. Definitely not. My sister kept saying on the phone, yes, I only have one sister. This is I don't get along with my sister, but I'm trying, and it's not easy. It is not easy. It's like because me and my sister are just night and day. It will blow your mind. Like you will be like, how are y'all sisters? You know what I'm saying? And I kept asking my sister, hey, am I picking up a shift Saturday? Am I picking up a shift Saturday? I said, because I know, you and mommy got to do something. I don't want to be an inconvenience. So, I can keep, Noah with that because y'all know my mom watch Noah. So she kept saying on the phone, oh, you got to ask mommy. You got to ask mommy. You got to ask mommy. I said, okay. And I kept asking, am I picking up a shift? Because, again, since I missed out on Tuesday, I wanted to make sure that I could pick up where I had, lacked off. Listen, I'm on my grind, okay? Because tomorrow is another day, and on top of that, baby, rainy days will come. That part. So, Saturday, I saw my mom, and I asked my mom, I said, hey, mom, they have a shift from 12 to 7, and I knew that I couldn't do the 12 to 7 because my mother wasn't going to watch them that long, which I was like, okay, again, that's understandable because she has them all the time. So I was like, okay, well, I could do 1 to 5. So I had asked my manager, I was like, hey, can I do 1 to 5? And she was like, yeah. And then I asked my mom, I said, well, mom, can I do 1 to 5? Or I said, can I do 12 to 4? And my mom was like, okay, do 12 to 4 because I want to get some rest. So I told my manager, on Saturday, I was like, no, I didn't tell her Saturday. I told her, sorry, because I couldn't have told her Saturday when I work Saturday. I think I told her, was it Friday? I think it was either Thursday or Friday. It was one of those days I had asked. And my mom and my mom confirmed. My mom was like, do 12 to 4 because she wanted to get some rest. I'm like, okay, fine. Again, because she has no other time, so I get it. So, I'm still trying to work with my mother because she watches him, which anybody can understand. So, was it Saturday? It couldn't have been Saturday because I worked Saturday. I think it was Friday. So, was it Thursday? I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday, but I know it was one of those days. And I think I want to say Thursday. Probably was Thursday when this happened. Mind you, I had the conversation with my sister that week because I was sitting inside my car for North Taekwondo and I was asking, right? So fast forwarding, my mom came to my job and she was like, oh, I'll put her on the phone. And I was like, And so my sister goes, oh, why would you pick up a shift Saturday? I said, skirt. I said, you're not going to question me. That's one, because you don't watch my son. So you're not going to do that. So let's try this one more time. You're going to come correct or you're not going to come at all. Okay? Because I'm grown just like you are. So learn how to talk to me and I'll talk to you. You talk at me, I'm going to hang up on you, which I ended up doing. I hung up on her. And because she was like, oh, why would you pick up a shift? You knew what we had to do. I said, oh, no. I said, excuse me, no. I said, we're not going to do that. I said, because you told me to ask mommy from Jump Street. I had asked mommy. Mommy confirmed that I can work Saturday. Oh, why would you do that? You knew what we had to do. I said, no. That's not what you said when I talked to you on the phone. So then she tries to go, oh, well, I sent a text message. I said, I know what you sent me. I said, but I don't know that's not what you said when I had a conversation with you on the phone. I said, so you're not going to do that. Not to me. I said, you're not finna sit up here and lie. I said, you're not going to do that one. I said, because that's not what happened. I said, now you're trying to say you never told me to ask mommy. I said, no. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, I said, you got the right one. You're not going to do that. So now we're going to try this again. I said, because don't try to sit there and say the text that you sent was confirmation to what you said. I said, because it doesn't even equal out to the same thing what you said on the phone. I said, so let's not do that. I said, because let me be very clear with you. I'm always going to make sure that I take care of my son. Regardless. Because I don't call you for nothing. I don't ask you for nothing. Because, again, you have your own life. Anybody can understand that. You have your own things going on. Fine. I'm not going to be like, oh, hey, sister, can you do this? Or sister, can you do that? Because anytime I have asked you, it's always been an excuse. When somebody keeps giving you constant excuses, at some point in time, you're going to stop asking. Correct? Correct. So you're not going to keep telling me, no, or I got to do this, I got to do that. Okay, cool. Like, I'm not going to come to you. But I'm also not going to let your inconvenience of your stories be an inconvenience to my home and my bills and my son. Oh, no, we're not doing that. So you're not going to do that. No, I don't think so. Right? So now we're kind of getting into it a little bit. I don't care. I'm going to stand on what I stand on because that's what you said. So I hung up on her. At that time, I hung up. I said, click. Sure, because I'm like, I'm not gonna sit up here and let you lie and say that that's not what you said. You're not gonna do that. So then she called, mind you, I hung up on her on my mom's phone. So she called my mom's phone back. And then my sister said, oh, I didn't say that. I said, you're lying. And I said, what you're not going to do is the lie. I said, because I said, that is exactly what you had said. I said, because I kept asking you, can I pick up a shift? Because I knew what you and mommy had to do. I never want to be inconvenienced. Like, if her and my mom got something planned, cool. And if I got to keep knowing of Doug, cool, I'm going to keep that's my child. So I'm not going to be inconvenienced to what you guys have to do, because I understand that what you guys have going on is important. Fine, I'm going to back off. And I even told him, I don't want nothing to do with what y'all got to do with. I don't want no parts of that. I was like, I don't want no parts of that. Okay. And then I said to her, you know, you keep saying that that's not what you said. I said, that is what you said. I said, stop trying to say a message that you sent equals out to what you said. I said, because the message that you sent and what you said, I said, there's not even a balance of the same thing. So what are you talking about? Then she goes, oh, thank you. Thank you. And then she finally goes, oh, I know that's what I said. I said, God darn it. I said, didn't I just say that? After you saying a million times, that's not what I said. I said you did. Listen. No disrespect. I don't care who you lie to. I don't care who you lie about. I don't care who you lie on. I don't care who you lie around. But you are not about to do that to me. And I tell people think that I'm still that little girl. I said, let me tell you something. When I have to go there with you, I can go toe-to-toe with you. Yes, I can. But if I can walk away from it, cool. But I said, this time around, I'm not walking away, because you're not going to lie like that. And then make it seem like I'm the problem. Yeah, okay. And I told my mother, because my mother was like, why don't y'all take a beat? Take a beat. I said, no disrespect, I'm not taking a beat, because I'm tired of her lying. I said, so I'm not accepting that. And I was like, no. You know, at some point, at some time, I'm gonna, you know, speak my piece and say how I feel. I don't care how you feel. You're not gonna lie on me, around me. You're not gonna tiptoe. You're not gonna moonwalk back. No, you're gonna face the issue, right? So my sister goes, oh, you have problems within yourself. I said, let me tell you something. I am a mother before I am anything else. I've never asked you to help me with my bills, with my car, with my son. I said, so what I am doing for my child and my household, I'd be darned if I let you now come in and try to be an inconvenience because now you want to fix something with mommy. No. Not accepting. I said, I'm not putting my son on a back burner for nobody. I said, because I did that before, and I said, I'd be if I do it again. I am not doing it. And let me tell you something. When I stand 10 toes down, oh baby, I'm gonna stand 10 toes down for mine, okay? Because I'm not gonna let you now tell me I can't work a shift Saturday when I could pick up money on a Saturday because you want to sit up here and play games. You take that to somebody else. You're not gonna bring that over my way. We're not doing that. And I even told my mother, I said I would have respected it even more if my sister would have said, well, Ma, I did tell Amanda that, speaking of myself in third party, well, Ma, I did tell her to ask you, can she work on a Saturday? But that's not what she said. I said, now, I would have respected it way more if she would have kept it a buck, right? And, I was like, you know, it would have been best for you to just be honest. Because I don't like things like that. If you're going to have a conversation with me, which is fine, right? I can have a conversation with you, but I can't have a conversation with you when I know that you're lying and when you start lying. That's when I say pump the brakes. You're not doing that. You're not. I don't care what nobody say. If someone comes in and if they have said something, I tell people all the time, acknowledge the things you have said. I not tell people all the time, y'all know how I'm about this. When something happens or somebody is just genuinely fed up and they spaz, it is because, one, they have either been holding it in, two, they have been afraid to say it, or three, they are just fed up and they just lose their mind. And I genuinely don't like when someone has just had enough and they've lost it and they finally go off on somebody and people look at them as if they're crazy. Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that you have said? Why don't you ask this person, what is it that How did it get here? Because something got somewhere for somebody to just lose their mind or flip out. Something has had to happen or have had to keep happening. And then somebody's quick to say, oh, well, you let it happen. Sometimes everybody's not ready when you're ready. Remember that. Everybody's not ready when you're ready to tell their story or tell somebody how they feel. So sometimes it can genuinely take somebody years to probably tell you how they really feel. And I'm not saying that they got to be disrespectful, they got to be ignorant, they got to be belligerent. I'm not saying that, but sometimes people aren't ready when you're ready. So if you may think that you got the upper hand, but baby, let me tell you something. You put somebody in the corner that has had enough of yo, and I guarantee you, they gonna come out that corner. That fear gonna come out that corner. That courage is gonna come out that corner. Them having enough is going to come out that corner. When you back a person into a corner and there's no way out, let me tell you something. Sometimes all it takes is fear for something and somebody to really come out. And then that's when people say, oh, well, now I see who you are. Yeah, now you know who I am. Now you know don't bother me. Now you know don't start. Now you see it. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of fear. And sometimes that's all you need for that little bit of courage to keep going, getting going, getting going, getting going. And then you lose your mind. And everybody looking at you like you crazy. No. I always tell people, I always ask, how did it get here? What made it get here? I'm never going to look at somebody, because I've been there, done that, that is bugging out, spazzing out, losing their mind. I'm not going to look at them and be like, oh my goodness, they crazy. Look what they do. No. Ask them what made it get here. What made them lose their mind? Something had to either happen. Somebody had to say something, or you did something. But something occurred that made somebody say, you know what? Enough is enough. So be careful with that. And they be them real quiet ones. They be them quiet ones, okay? Be them quiet ones. Because I used to be, and I told Noah, I'm very proud of my son because my son speaks up for himself, right? And I told him, I'm proud of you. I said, because when I was your age, I wouldn't speak. I wouldn't say nothing. I said, you try that now. You had a problem with it. Seriously, yo. All it takes is one time to put the fear in someone, and most times they will leave you alone. That part. And I think that is crazy how some people genuinely just believe that they could just keep poking and poking and poking, and then when you poke and then you wake up the bear, you want to look like you got a million heads, but didn't you keep poking them? That's why I tell people, be careful. Genuinely be careful with what you say, what you do, and how you move, and who you're around. I said, because sometimes people could want to put on a show for others. You may be the opening act, but baby, I will be the final performance. Okay, I will make sure I give you the final performance that you need. Now, you may have been the opening act, but we're not going to talk about that opening act. We're going to talk about, well, dang, did y'all see the final performance? Oh, we sure did. So I tell people, be careful with when you're looking at something, right? And I tell Noah this, when you're looking at something, make sure that what you see is really what it is. I said, because you could be looking at somebody bugging, right? Spazzing, losing their mind. And you may think, oh my goodness, they're crazy. Oh my goodness, they bugging out. But do you know why? Do you know why? Do you know why they're doing all of that? Or are you just looking at what you see? You know, are you really looking at what your eyes are really showing you, or are you looking at something that's not actually happening? That's why I tell you, be careful. Because y'all know I believe in your eyes can play a trick on you, and your eyes can lie to you. Okay, you can think that you see something, and that is not what it is. That's why I tell you all the time. I said, baby, let me tell you something. You can see somebody being the happiest couple, right? You can see somebody kissing and hugging and being so lovey-dovey. I said, now, baby, when they go home behind closed doors and you don't see nothing and you don't hear it, they could be fussing like cats and dogs. And you don't even know it. But you are just looking at what you see. You don't know that for sure. That's why I tell them, be careful. Because assumption is a mother. And I tell them all the time, you may think, you can see pictures. Oh, me on vacation with my boo. Oh, this zaddy. Child, at home, you're miserable. At home, you're not happy. At home, you are just fussing. Get out of it, yo. You don't have to, I tell people, you don't have to deal with none of that. You don't. Like, you genuinely do not have to deal with none of that. That's why I told my mom, I'm not dealing with it. I said, I'm not going to accept the lies. I said, I'm not doing it. And I said, that goes for anybody, because if you can't talk to me and be honest, don't say anything to me, because I'm not going to let you sit there and lie to make yourself feel bigger and feel better. Not over this way. You're not going to do that. You're not about to pull no big bully move over here. No. And then on top of that, I have an issue with, I genuinely have an issue with this, right? When people have, like, when you're a couple, and if I'm on the phone, right? If I'm on the phone with someone, and let's say if they're, like, let's say if I'm on the phone with, I gotta give a good example, because I don't want to cause any issues. Let's say if my mom's on the phone and I'm talking to her, and her husband is next to her. I'm just giving an example, right? I wouldn't want to talk to her, because I feel that at some point, at some time, I genuinely believe that certain lines just don't need to be crossed. And again, like I always tell you guys, friendships, relationships, being a daughter, being a mother, everything has a different lane. But there's a sense of respect that I believe in. If I'm on the phone talking to somebody, and if I have a boyfriend, like if it's my mother or my sister or my father, I'm not going to be around him, because he don't need to hear what I'm saying to them. Like, if it's something simple like, hey, you know, how you doing, or you coming over, or something like that, cool. But if it's something that's serious, you don't need to hear what's going on, because I personally believe in not bringing your relationships into your, like, your family, pertaining to, oh my goodness, girl, let me tell you what he did last night. I'm not doing none of that, because listen, I've been there, I've done that. I learned you keep certain things separate. Yeah, and you know what, just from certain things, you know. Like, just nope, been there, done that. I learned from it. I said boo, we not doing none of that. I got the dragon fruit, but I will be back on here later. I think I'm actually gonna stay. Oh no, I can't stay over. I gotta remember today is Sunday and not Monday, because I'm thinking that today is Monday. All right, you guys, I love you guys. It's good to be back. We'll definitely finish this conversation later. I hope everybody's Thanksgiving went amazing and went good, and I hope you guys are safe. And I hope you guys ate a lot of turkey and a lot of ham. I don't eat turkey. I like ham. But I love you guys. I'm going to go. Peace, love, joy, and blessings to you guys. I'm back on here, so don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and share. Bye, guys. Oh, thank you, Joshua. You guys be safe. Have a good day. Everybody, please make it to your destination. Be careful. Be safe. If someone is picking with you, baby, walk away. You got the upper hand. You too blessed and humble and beautiful and handsome for that. But when you got to go toe-to-toe, baby, matching toe-to-toe. I love you guys. Have an amazing day. Keep that energy. Keep that smile. You got your boo. You got your boo. Bye, guys. Have a good day. And I will see you guys on the flip side.